Say yeah, it feels good, don't it? Damn, it feels good to have people up on it. Say yeah.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 34 of Community Chronicles, a DDPY Community video interview series. Pardon the giggles. My guest tonight is one that has been in the works for a very long time. And this lady's story, but she needs to tell it herself. We need to hear it directly from her. So please help me welcome Dianne Kuzstos Wilson. Welcome, Dianne.
Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate you getting my name right, too.
Well, you just told me how to say it, so otherwise I would have screwed it up. Dianne's got me rolling in here before we've even gotten started. So I'm just going to sit back quietly and try not to laugh for a bit. Dianne, I'm going to ask you what I ask everybody to do, and that's give us kind of the videotape sleeve version of your DDPY story. How did you come to find the DDP yoga program, and what has it done for you since?
Okay. Well, Anthony, I was never into wrestling, didn't know a thing about it. And so anyway, here's what happened. I think I was 68 and I had a diverticulitis attack. Didn't know what that was. I don't think many people know that this is how I come to find DDPY. This diverticulitis attack, it's in your colon, and I was doubled over in pain, went to ER. It was worse than having a baby, which you wouldn't know other than maybe your wife had a child or two. But yeah, but that totally screwed my digestive system up. I used to eat salads every day, just loved it. But after I had this, they had to get rid of the infection. So the meds that I had to take wiped out all the good bacteria in my body. And then I got this condition called dysbiosis, which the bad bacteria took over. I couldn't leave the house. I mean, I could, but I never knew when I'd have to run to the bathroom, or it was really bad. Then I had to have a colonoscopy that added, what do you call it? Fuel to the flame. I mean, because then what I built back up got wiped out again a couple months later. And I was researching about this condition that I had, trying to get myself healed because the medical establishment didn't help me. And I joined a couple Facebook groups, and I remember two ladies posted. One day I saw that they were like what I call gym rats. They lived in the gym, they liked to work out, and they said that working out gave them a flare-up light. And so I was like, well, I'm not going to work out. I'm afraid I'll have to go through this thing again. And as time went by, it was like my muscles started weakening. And that's when I noticed I can't get off the john or anything. And I'm not going to get into that because you can see how I reenacted what I went through and how I recovered. But yeah, that's what I was going through. And I finally admitted it to my daughter and son-in-law visiting them on Mother's Day one day, because we were like 7 hours apart. He's in the Navy back then. And when I told them what I was going through, they're like, oh, you got to watch this video. This guy, I don't even know if they remembered his name, but they had to, because they pulled up Arthur's video and they said, Mom, watch this. And I watched it, and it was like, I get chill bumps thinking about it, because it was like, oh my God, to see what he went through, surely they could help me, And so my son-in-law got me signed up, and I kid you not, I don't know if this happens to other people or not. I don't think I did the program 2 weeks. I think I ordered a heart rate monitor, but I went to the grocery store, went to get a case of water, put it in the shopping cart, and something happened to my back. And it was like, I did not do DDPY for a year and a half. But I mean, I got better, but working everything. I'm still working, by the way. But anyway, I really stalked the group. Every now and then I would go to that Facebook group and I'd read these stories, you know, and it was like, I think it was about a year and a half. And it was like I kept getting worse and worse and worse. And then, you know, I talked about the nurse practitioner, and I've had people say they'll let you. It was a a restorative care center that if you could not get off the John, they wouldn't let you out. I think in the video I said it was a retirement center, and I've gotten a lot of flack about that, but I couldn't go back and correct it. So anyway, where was I?
Oh, so you tried the program for a couple of weeks, hurt your back, didn't do it for a year and a half?
A year and a half. I stalked the group every now and then. Yeah. And so I come back in January 1st or the day before, 2021 is when I got back, you know, and it was like I posted this picture of just my arm, you know, like that. And it was like I wouldn't post my face or anything. I was so nervous because I didn't see anybody my size. I mean, they might have been there, but whenever I stalked the group, I never saw anybody my age, my size, or anything. And they're going to think I am crazy, you know, doing this. And so I posted just my arm and said, you know, could you help me, whatever. And the response was overwhelming. I could not believe these people that liked it. They commented. And then there was one lady, and I'm going to give a shout out. Her name is Michelle Fairfield. And I don't even know what her story was, but she said something about this was the best program to build strength and flexibility. And she said, just start. You just start. And then a couple of weeks, a month, a year from now, you will be amazed at the difference. It was something to that effect.
Mm-hmm.
And that did it. It's like you fill a cup up with water and you just get so much reinforcement. I mean, is what happened. All these comments. It's just like, okay, I got to do it. I got to do it. And so again, making my first post, it was like, these people are going to think I'm crazy. So I tried to use laughter. Maybe if I come up with something funny, they won't think I'm crazy for doing this. And that's why I came up with my 4 goals. And I'm not going to take the time to get into it. You guys look it up, what my 4 goals were. And so anyway, it was like, I just kept at it. And then I didn't post a video of the crappy stuff I was doing. I started out with, I thought I could do standing with chair. I mean, you know, I couldn't do that. I had to go whatever was lower, or whatever I started with. My balance was so much worse than I thought. So I had to go down and restart over again. And whatever I was doing, I had to use a chair. And I'm like this perfectionist. And I wasn't going to let anybody see me do this. I saw other people, you know, posting videos, and it was inspiring to see what other people were doing. But I would not post a video until, you know, I could do it with a chair. Well, Dallas actually saw my goals. He made a video, a Fabulous Friday video, and he showed people how you could get my goals with balance, strength, and everything. And he said, knee droppers, do knee droppers every day. He challenged me for 30 days and a plank. And surprisingly, the very first plank I did was almost a minute. And I think he wanted me to do it a minute every day. Anyway, long story short, when I could do the knee droppers with the chair, I mean, without the chair, that's when I posted a video. And I might have posted a few after that. I don't remember, but shout out to Amanda Blocker. I knew nothing about this Positively Unstoppable challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me about that. And that really, really made me think for 2 weeks, because it's like, I don't have time to do this. I don't like doing videos. I don't like talking on videos. Oh my God, look what this program has done for me. I'm talking to you. And there might be a few people seeing this. I mean, good God, this program's awesome. Well, anyway, back then it was like, I don't know if I could do this or not. But this is weird. Those 2 weeks of thinking about it, I was getting stronger and stronger. And so then we're into March now. And it's this crazy, but when by the time I submitted my entry, they ask you, okay, what's your goal? I said, I want to win this thing. I mean, I don't know, and this is crazy. Y'all are going to think I'm crazy. I actually thought back then I was 70, I could win this thing because, man, I was working out every day. I got hooked on the leaderboard when I finally figured that out, how people, because when I joined, I was like 3,000, 4,000, I can't remember. It was like, no way I'd ever get up there. But that really would fuel me. It was like, I noticed the more I did workouts, the higher my rank got. And so I got to investigating. And one day I clicked on a little button that had a question mark.
Mm-hmm.
For you newbies, you need to check that out. I pushed that button. Oh, this is how these people are getting these points, extra points. You get so many points for working out, whatever.
But there's consistency points. There's
Yeah.
points for remembering measurements, pictures, etc.
Yeah. And so then when I joined but before I was going to tell you, so for me back then, when I started, when I say recommitted, you could do 1,400 points a day.
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember going on vacation, like visiting my daughter and them. I was getting up at 4 or 5 in the morning so I could get those 1,400 points. It was like, and my daughter, because I'm a night person, I've got a home office here, as you see, and it was like, I can work all night if I want to, and I was a different person. She told me she wrote Dallas a 2-page letter after that, and she never expected to hear back from him, and because he didn't for a while, but he did respond to her letter. I wish I knew what she put in that letter, but anyway, she said I was a different person. But that was like, where am I? Okay, so I did the challenge, and on paper, I did not win, but physically, I won because I could get off the John. I could run up the stairs. I'd fallen down the stairs, and I still have the little Post-it notes on there, different colors, to where I can see the different stairs. But oh my God, I'm not afraid of the stairs anymore.
I remember that that post of you, just a short video of you running upstairs, and then on the second to last, right before the landing, you stop and go like this. And that's still one of my favorite shares ever in the group.
Yeah, it was. Because people my age, I guess they don't do that. I don't know.
No, I don't know a ton of 70-year-olds that are sprinting up the stairs.
Yeah, or putting your pajama. Even getting dressed today. Just to be able to.
I know plenty of 40-year-olds that sit down to put their pajamas on.
I know. It's just awesome. But although I didn't, quote unquote, win the thing, I was like, they called me and they said I was like a runner-up, honorable mention. I can't remember how they put it, but there was me and there were 7 others of us. Can I give a shout out to them?
Absolutely.
I wanted to give a shout out to them because I don't know if people know that, and I don't know if every year Dallas has these runner-ups, but I wrote their names down, so hoping I could take this opportunity. It was Aaron Gretrich, Brian F. Jones, Rocco Lorenzo, Jackie Miller, Matt Smith, Matthew Wilner, and there was this gentleman, and I feel so bad for him because this was an awesome experience to have us honorable mentions there in Atlanta for 2 days. We got to work out with Dallas, and Chris Toohey was another one. And I don't know that anybody's ever mentioned his name. I had to look him up to see what he'd done. And oh God, y'all look to see what he's had an awesome transformation.
Yeah, Chris, I haven't seen anything from him in a while, but Chris is a guy who went from 300 plus pounds to a gym rat with an amazing body. So if you get a chance, look him up, say hey to Chris.
Yeah. Yeah. And congratulate him because, and these others too. And I mention their names too, because they work hard. And if you need inspiration or motivation, I mean, just check them out. I mean, they'll get you going. I mean, seriously. But anyway, so, then what happened was, so we go through, I come back from Atlanta. And then I was diagnosed. I ended up in the ER again, one for COVID or anything, but it was a stomach issue. And I thought it was kind of the same thing, but no, now they're telling me I had colitis. And this was just a couple of weeks after I got back from the Atlanta trip, and ended up in the hospital. Then it was like, oh, well, they found something on the lower part of my lung. When they scanned my stomach in the hospital, the x-ray picked up something in my lung. And so then they recommended that I have x-rays taken again, like in 3 to 6 months. And so I proceeded with that. And when I had those extra x-rays done higher up, then they do this thing where if it lights up these areas, they found other areas in my lungs. And if it lights up, that means it could be malignant. Mm-hmm. And so that was a little scary. And it was like, okay, you can either wait, do a biopsy, whatever. And it's like my family's no. This was the greatest thing. I remember my daughter, when we were talking to the surgeon at what my options were, and my daughter's going, she needs to have the surgery now. Just go ahead. Let's do it now. She is in the best shape of her life. Do it now. And I mean, isn't that awesome?
That's
awesome.
Insane to think that.
And at 70 or 71, I was 71 then. And this is the thing I want people to know. If you're young and you're doing this program, and oh God, you might have lost the weight, and you're flexible, you got your strength, and if you slack off, because I'll tell you about my second surgery, what happened when I had that lung surgery. But, I want people to know you got to stay prepared, because when I was your age, I never thought about having surgery at my age, not ever. But it takes a lot out of you. Mm-hmm. I tell you, it takes a lot out of you. And I mean, this was major surgery because they ended up taking 1/3 of my lung out. And fortunately, it was the bottom third. And then they put these titanium staples in there, I guess, to close it up. They deflated, my lung was deflated, I guess, so they could do the surgery. And that's why I was believing I'd only have to stay in there like overnight. It was 5 days. I was in there with this big tube coming out and a little suitcase that I'd have to take with me to the bathroom. And thank God I could walk. I didn't have to depend on waiting, because to get pain meds, you'd have to wait like a half hour, 45 minutes for somebody to come in. But I'm telling you guys, this is all reasons why you need to keep working out, So I had somebody in my family with me 24/7, but it was just being so independent, having that feeling that I didn't have to depend on people. I could walk by myself. They wanted me to walk like during the day, I don't know, 15 minutes, whatever. And every now and then I'd get up and somebody would walk with me. But the whole time I was in there 5 days, I only saw one other person walk in the halls. I was in the heart center on a floor that maybe there were heart patients. I don't know, but that was really something, to where when you think there's people, if it's the heart center, usually they'd be, older, and nobody's out there walking. I mean, it was, yeah, it's really
Most of them are probably
sad.
not in a condition to walk. They don't have the
I
strength.
know, I know.
So
Or
there again, where you put yourself in a situation where you weren't just laying flat on your back for a week. You were able to get up and move around because
right,
of all the work you'd put in.
right. And I kind of like didn't want to lose that momentum. That was another thing I was afraid of. What's going to happen to me after I have this surgery, And they said I could get back to working out whenever. They kind of left it up to me, but it's like knowing that you have this in there, and it was like sometimes when you move, it would feel like these staples were rubbing against the inside of my body. Not only did I have they did this robotically, which was a blessing, because I know of some people that have had the big scar to where they had to open you up like that. I had like 5 or 6 holes, indentions, where they went in robotically and did it, but it's on the front and on the back. So this side was really sore, and right now it's just it's a numb feeling. I don't know if it'll ever come back. So now it's hard for me to do planks, push-ups. I mean, and my balance, I'm sorry. It was like I was kind of proud being able to do those knee droppers without a chair or anything like that. And I can do them now without the chair, but it's just my balance is really off. Doing broken tables and stuff like that. It's less like it's coming back. It's coming back, but
Well, I know that not trying to do those things is certainly not going to make the situation any better. You make it your own. You try to do it. You modify, and that's the best way to strengthen up those little isolator muscles again. Those ones we never use except when we're trying to balance. And it may never get back to where it was, but it'll get better.
Yeah. And I mean, and I have to say, yes, this program was great because I could do the workouts, but I just modify, I just do what I felt like I could do. But I really didn't do that till my surgery was around the 1st of November. And it wasn't until January 1st of this year that I made a commitment. I'm going to do something every day. I'm going to work out. I might do physical therapy because I'm still nursing a hamstring after the challenge from 2021 ended in November. Oh my God, it was like something happened with this hamstring. And so I go to a physical therapist. This is my 3rd one now, trying to get that worked out. It's getting better. But I have a shout out to Jeremy Landry because I wasn't on Facebook much, but I did see where he had was it a slight heart attack? I mean, he had to have
he had a cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
He had the Widowmaker heart attack. He should have died.
Yeah. And he's so young. I mean, God. But so I hadn't really followed him or anything. But one day it was like, well, I just want to see, how's he doing, and so I stalked him, and oh my God, I saw he was working out. I mean, he was doing this something with wrestling.
Yeah, he does Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
And it was like, oh my God. And he had surgery after I did. He had heart surgery after I did. And it really got me thinking, Dianne, I think you can push yourself a little bit more, because I saw what he was doing. Well, then I think when I checked on him a week or 2 later, it was like, oh my God, he was doing stuff before his doctor even really approved him to do it.
That kind of sounds like Jeremy.
Ah,
but yeah, I mean, that the tattoo on his chest isn't just a marketing gimmick. That dude's he's got a will.
He is unstoppable.
Yeah. I mean, it's all crooked and ugly now. But sorry, Jeremy. But yeah, he's an inspiring dude, and he's going to keep working hard.
Oh
But
God.
yeah, how could you not be inspired by a dude who gets knocked out by heart surgery, and now here we are just a few months later
I know.
to doing all the things he was doing before,
I
because
know.
he built a discipline. He's been on both sides, and he knows which one he likes, you know. So he's gonna
But
keep.
see, that's what I found was so good, because I felt like I'm starting over, you know. But it was like this time when I'm starting over, I know I'm not going to fail. I mean, I know this program works. Whereas when I started the first time, it was, it's kind of up in the air until I did that 30-day challenge. That was the other thing, the consistency part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Do it for 30 days. And I saw such an improvement. It's like, oh, I got to keep doing this. Yeah.
Yeah. The only failure is quitting. Yeah. As long as you're doing it, right, you are succeeding. There is no failure there.
Yeah.
So you mentioned, all right, your hospital stay that took a chunk of lung out of you. That ended up, I was.
Oh yeah, more than that.
Right?
They took other spots out too. It was weird.
Oh, they just sampled the whole thing.
Well, no, there were other things that showed up on the X-rays. I forgot to tell you, but yeah. So they had to go up to the middle part and the top part. I had other spots too. It was weird. Oh, and well, let me say, it was not cancerous. Just so everybody knows, it wasn't cancerous. It was a fungus. And they said that you could pick this fungus up, like from the dirt or whatever. And I did research. Right now I can't think of the name they called it, but the doctor told me it was kind of prevalent in the South. And it's like, this is weird, because I haven't gardened or anything, been out in the dirt in ages, and anyway. So that's where we were at. So now where are we at?
So, okay. So we kind of tie these two pieces together. I believe it was part of your trip to Atlanta as a runner-up in the 2021 challenge. They had you sit down and talk about your story a little bit. Then you go in the hospital and get chunks of lung taken out.
Yeah.
And then I believe I'm in the right spot. When the day after you got out, or the day after your surgery, the DDPY folks decided to share your story, right?
Oh, it wasn't long after. It was unbelievable. Dallas called me. He woke me up. I think it was on a Saturday. I think it was 7:30 in the morning.
Woke you up? Geez, you are a night owl.
Well, but think about it. When that hospital thing got me all out of whack.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I haven't even told you about not being able to eat when I was in the hospital for like 2 or 3 days. I'm not even going to get into all that, but it was like I'd wake up at night and I'd be hungry. And so I'd eat, and whatever. But when he said something, he texted me a link to this video, and he wanted me to watch it. And I got my husband to watch it with me, and it was like we cried. We just could not. We couldn't believe it. And the thing is, it was like doing that video reminded me of what I did, and it was like, I can do this again, I mean, it was like, and somebody made a comment like, wow, it's like, so you have a video to inspire you. I was like, this is crazy, yeah. And that video took off.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
I mean, Dylan Farmer, shout out to Dylan Farmer. He edited, I call him Stu. Steve Yu, I call him Stu. Steve Yu interviewed me, but Dylan put it together. They asked for a link to all my videos, and I gave it to him, and he put that thing together. And he private Facebook messaged me one day saying something about, the video's getting a lot of views. And I didn't really know that much about YouTube, other than I had to figure out, and Amanda Blocker, bless her heart, she helped me figure out how to get my videos up on YouTube. But yeah, and so I started watching, what was happening, and it was like, oh my God, man, this would be so cool if I could get, like, maybe I'll get 1,000 views. It was like, wow, this is awesome. But I don't even think I knew I could respond to people back then, and people were commenting and people were like getting inspired by seeing this video. And Anthony, like in maybe 2 months, little after 2 months, there was 1 million views. Oh my God, 1 million views.
Now you're talking Community Chronicles numbers now.
Oh yeah.
But 1 million views is that's amazing.
I know.
Because think about like all the stuff there is out there to watch, to consume. People hardly have the patience for YouTube anymore. It's all, really, really short stuff. So to get 1 million views on YouTube is in this day and age is amazing.
Yeah, well, shout out to this community because they posted the video in the Facebook group. And of course, I don't know if those people liking it or whatever, if that counted towards the 1 million views, and I will tell you, and I can't remember his name, but shout out to whoever you are, you little gentleman. He private messaged me and he said he watched the video 6 times.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if people watched it more than once, that all helped it get 1 million views.
Well, and see, that's not, that's part of it though, right? That's not, the rewatches speaks to how much they were getting out of your story.
Yeah.
That your story was speaking to them, and that got them to go back and watch it. It's not, I gotta do Diana solid and just keep clicking here.
No, I didn't think about that, but yeah. I mean, but to hear from people that probably thought, maybe they'll just be a couch potato for the rest of their life, and then they see what this program did for me, and it was like, oh, maybe it'll work for them, just like Arthur's video. And I will point them to Arthur's video and Jade Lynn Wagstaff if people were in pain. I like, you got to watch this. I mean, it was like, I'm for helping people. And a matter of fact, this is why it's not so much the 1 million views. It's just the number of people that it's reached and it's helped. Yes. And it's given me an opportunity, because you probably don't know this, but I was so grateful for everybody that would comment, that would like anything that I do in our private Facebook groups. It was like I'd have to respond because they took the time, to push that button or to give me a shout out, whatever. I mean, I so appreciated it that then I wanted to keep doing this. And that was really hard when I'm getting thousands of comments coming in. I would spend hours trying to keep up with it. And I'd have to scroll all the way down to the bottom until I learned, oh, there's a button you can click and you can just see the newest comments. That really helped. I'm really behind right now commenting, but I didn't mean to go on like this.
No, that's all right. But no, that is.
But I did. I wanted to thank the community. I mean, y'all have just been great. I mean, I couldn't have. I mean, I feel like everybody's so much younger than me, and to know that they really were. It's like they were rooting for me. They're cheering for me. Oh, this is what I want to say. This has given me an opportunity to be a cheerleader for a lot of other people. And I always wanted to be a cheerleader. Tried out when I was 10 years old to be a cheerleader. And I was awkward, just could not. So I ended up playing basketball for 4 years is what I did in high school. But, just being a cheerleader, it wasn't in the cards for me. But in this group, I get to be a cheerleader.
And this is, I think, tying this all together now, because you mentioned when you first joined the group, you didn't see anybody that looked like you. Right. You didn't think that you had a place there or a story to share. Didn't even want to show your face because, there's nobody here like me. And here, a year and a half, 2 years-ish later, you're getting 1 million views on your story on YouTube. Speaks to why it's so important for all of us to share our story, because somebody's going to get something from it.
Even if it's one person.
Exactly. That's all that matters. If it makes a difference for one person, it's worth doing. And I guarantee that whatever your story is, you think I'm not special or my story is not that inspiring, let someone else be the judge of that.
Mm-hmm.
We can't set out to inspire. We can only set out to inform.
Right. Oh,
and the people who see it will draw inspiration from it.
You made me think of, it was like I'd already gotten, I don't know how many responses after this photo right here that I posted, but that Michelle Fairfield, she was way down the line. But it's like, she could have thought, oh, she's already got so many people commenting. She doesn't need to hear another one, you know, but she took the time to write what she did, and what she wrote pushed me over the edge, you know. So
we're all here. We're all cheerleaders here.
yeah.
That's what's so great about the community. And so Dianne, you've proven to us that you're an inspiration. And when we chatted about doing this interview, you wanted to share something here that you haven't shared in wider circles yet as a result of all your inspirational hard work. You got a nice little surprise here not long ago.
Oh God, did I ever get a surprise? It was such a surprise that it was like, it's a first. It's a DDPY first. Can I show you what it is?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I got this package in the mail, had not a clue what it was. It was like a day or two before my birthday, and I thought somebody was sending me a birthday present. It was not a birthday present. It was this. I got a belt. I don't know if you can you see this?
Yes, DDPY, Dianne Wilson, inspirational champion. First and only inspirational champion, Dianne Wilson. So
it's a first. I didn't know that. I didn't know where it came from.
Well, the world may never know. But still, like, how amazing is that? You know, that again, someone who didn't think their story was that significant, didn't think that they could succeed at this, kept pushing through. And on top of experiencing all the physical benefits, you got to touch that many people with your story. Because I can tell you, as somebody who is a year or two younger than you, it is extremely inspiring to see someone who's probably could come up with a couple more excuses from a physical standpoint to not try, out there just crushing it every day and working on bettering themselves. Because I know a lot of 72 is not a number, 73 is not a number that many people in my family hit, right? Because they're not out there doing knee droppers. And so the perspective there just, it blows my mind that this lady's not that old. If she's getting all this done. So that is a gift well deserved. You definitely earned it, and it's true. I think that a lot of people draw inspiration from your story. But we've been here long enough. What do you say we roll into some rapid fire questions and start coming to the end of our discussion here?
We can, but can I say one thing more about?
Yeah.
I need to
talk about you. Talk about yourself more.
No, I investigated. I tracked down who sent this.
Okay.
I looked at the box, the shipping company, whatever. I had to write them because they didn't take phone calls. So I had to wait for them to get back to me through email. But it was DDPY organization sent this to me. And I called because I didn't know who did this or what. And it was Dallas and whoever put this together. And then it was coming back to me. Dallas called me about 2 weeks before I got this thing in the mail. Mm-hmm. And that's the only time that I have a recording of him. And I didn't answer the phone, and he left a message. And so he was congratulating me on what had happened and the number of people, I guess, that had seen the video and were inspired. I can't remember exactly what he said, but anyway, that's what happened. So I wanted to shout out to you, Dallas.
Oh yeah. I don't know if you've heard of this guy before.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs it. I'm sure that'll make his day that he got tagged in a freaking Community Chronicles post. But yeah, that's great. Dianne. And You shared this. You showed this to me a couple weeks ago or last week, and I thought that was absolutely awesome.
Well,
and not that couldn't go to a better person.
thank you. But this is too, I want to tell people, this may be the first, but I don't believe it's going to be the last, because who knows? Y'all inspire people. Who knows? You might get one of these boxes in the mail one day. So just
absolutely keep it up.
Keep encouraging people, other people. Yeah.
Keep sharing your stuff. No, there's no bad that can come from it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations on the strap there, Dianne. You should be displaying that more prominently hereforth. So
well, and I did see when we went to Atlanta, I did see that Dallas has some kind of wire thing that holds one of his belts, probably the biggie one, and so I got to track down one of those. Put it up on my wall. I mean, he has some hanging up on his wall, I think. I mean,
all right, yeah, you're gonna start your collection up there. All right,
it would be nice.
It's all right. Well, enough of inflating your ego, Dianne. I think we've had enough here. Let's get into business here. So rapid fire questions. Are you ready?
No, but go ahead.
All right.
Should I say sure? Now
I know the first one here. I know that you do not eat any kind of sugar, and you actually hunt out anything that could be sugar. So
I don't say never, never. I mean, but that was my goal. Okay.
So what is your favorite sweet treat? Doesn't have to be sugary.
You mean like right now?
Right now.
Oh, I tell you, watermelon to me, if you cut out sugar, when you start eating this stuff that doesn't have a lot of salt and stuff on it, it was like watermelon. When I eat watermelon now, it's like eating cotton candy. Cosmic apple.
Those are good too. I like the Cosmic Crisp.
I didn't get those till after my surgery. My husband started bringing me that, and it was like, wow, it's like eating a whole apple pie without. And I'm not getting into the apple pie bit. I've told some people about the apple pie, but
all right. What is the last book you read?
Oh, here it is. Oh, did I move it? It had to do with, my daughter got it for me for my birthday. It said something like how to keep from drowning in housework, something like that.
What's the last song you danced to?
I cannot remember.
Wow. Okay. Well, this is getting thrilling.
Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. I did try a couple moves. Ted Evans, who I got to meet. It took me like a year before I found out about Ted Evans.
His Lil Jon song?
The Usher
Little John.
Yeah, I tried to do some of those moves. Okay.
No, nobody's got moves like Ted. Your most embarrassing moment, just the first one that comes to mind.
The first one that came to my mind was my first job out of art school, was working for a small ad agency, and I had to make coffee for my boss, and I accidentally put salt in it instead of sugar.
What's the last non-scale victory you experienced?
Or you could say getting out of bed in the morning.
There you go. It's a huge one. All right. What is your next health-related goal?
Oh God, health related. Oh, I want to ramp up the way I eat. You know, I learned I function better without salt, sugar, flour. But I mean, I still have eaten that stuff. But I want to do this program called, and I don't know if I can say this, Nutritarian. I've got some books on that, and no oil. Yeah, no oil, no salt, no meat. Get the protein from your beans. And I'm telling you, it's opened a different world for me, because God, I did not know that I love kidney beans. I love black beans. I love garbanzo or chickpeas. And I mean, I just love it.
I like beans as much as the next guy, but You can't take my meat. What's your favorite movie?
The first thing that came to my mind was Pretty Woman.
A good one. And what was the name of your first pet?
Oh, I called him California Boogie Bear because I got him in California and brought him back to South Carolina.
And what kind of pet was California Boogie Bear?
He was black and he was a little terrier.
Okay, cool.
It ran off one day. I swore I'd never have a pet again. But anyway, I'd have.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to bring up such a traumatic experience. I did not see it going there.
And you're laughing about it. Oh my God, you're laughing about my California Boogie Bear.
I'm a terrible person.
Jesus, give me a break, Anthony.
All right, sorry. What is the worst advice you've ever received?
Trust me. Trust me. And let me tell you, trust me when I say, if you ever go to a hairdresser or a barber that says, trust me, think twice before.
How do you think I got here? All right. And the best advice you ever received?
The best advice was, don't settle for anything less than you expect. Don't settle.
It's awesome. All right. Well, you survived that.
Oh,
One more order of business. We're going to give you one last chance here. You did a lot of shout outs here during our talk. Anybody else out there in the DDPY community you want to give a little attaboy?
Oh my God, how much time have you got? And y'all, I'm on the spot here. I'm nervous and I don't want to leave anybody out, but there are people when I was doing my journey, like Arinetra Chandler. Arinetra Chandler. Yeah. That was my balance was so bad. I tried to do her March month of balance. I had to quit, but she kept encouraging me. Curtis Hughes. Oh my God. Curtis Hughes. He has and I told him, I said, you just need to, every time you post, just keep putting those quotes on there because I read them. That motivational quotes. He is so motivating and he has had so many challenges, health-wise, pain-wise, whatever.
Yeah, love Curtis.
Aurora Mota.
Yeah.
Sorry, Aurora. I'm nervous.
Right.
There've been a lot of people that have done I actually did some challenges, came up with challenges.
Your
and
knee droppers, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. We had a red hot core bikini Speedo challenge. I don't know if you saw that one.
No, I think I
missed that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I was big into red hot core. Can't do red hot core. Yeah, I can modify, but I can't wait till I can get back to that. But
I bet.
Josh Kiev, who called me the Iron Lady, bless his heart, he means well. But every time I would hear that, I was thinking about, oh God, I got an iron or something, you know. But anyway, who else? There's so many others. Oh, I have somebody older than me now that's inspiring me. She's a ball of energy. Kathy DePlaza. Kathy DePlaza. She's 76 years old. She reached out to me.
You don't need to out her, but
what do you mean? What do you mean out her?
You don't need to tell everybody how old she is. Crying out
no,
loud.
I think she'd be proud, like I am, of how old she is and how she's, like you guys say, kicking ass. Yes, I said that on live. And I'm sorry, y'all. I can't. Diamond Dallas Page.
All right. We get that.
Okay, right? Sorry.
That guy doesn't need my hype. But anyway, well, that's great. There's a whole group, and honestly, the same thing every time. We could sit here and we could rattle off 35 names, and then 10 minutes later go, oh, damn it, I forgot somebody.
I know. As soon as
it's okay. It's okay.
I'm just going to apologize.
Community is 70-some thousand out there. We can't name all of them.
Can I say one more thing?
Absolutely.
This is important because her name's Carmela Shira. She's Rocco's mom. I met her.
yeah.
Yeah, I met her in Atlanta last year, but I'm going to read to you. I wrote it down. She's really quiet. She hadn't been out on the, she hasn't really done any posting yet, but this is really important. And I hope this sticks with me, and it might help some of you that are kind of getting near my age. She said that this is the last chapter of my life, and I want to make it a good one. I don't want the last 20 years to be crappy. I want this to be the best chapter of my life, because this is the last one. This is the last chapter of my life. And I want it to be a good one. I don't mean to be a downer or anything, but that, if you really think about it, that is profound. If you think of your life in chapters, which I'd never have, and what I'm hoping I have maybe till 90 or 100, my last chapter. So give y'all something to think about.
I'm fingers crossed here for 50. But one more thing we're going to ask you to do, Diane, before we shut her down, and that's just give us a bang.
Oh, I love to. Bang.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Whatever you are, be a good one. See you next time.
No need for money, got my happiness today, I'm feeling great. And if you smile all the time, then your face gon' turn that way. Yeah, it feels good, don't it? Damn, it feels good to have people up on the say, yeah.